Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. We've got a Imperial Stout here, and it's got some pretty out there adjuncts, which I actually like, but whether they go well together. So it's Collective Arts are out of Ontario in Canada. They've paired up with Dugas out of Sweden. And it's the Origin of Dark series, which has been going now for quite a few years. So this is bourbon barrel aged imperial stout with raspberry, chocolate, and mint. So yeah, it's a little bit different. I'm a huge mint fan, and yeah, I also love raspberry. And yeah, like who doesn't love a bourbon barrel aged Impy stout? So yeah, whether it's going to go well together or not. Pretty cool can artwork too. Collective Arts always have some epic artwork. They've quite often they'll get like local artists to do stuff for them and like competition winners, and yeah, it's pretty cool how they go about it. So yeah, this bad boy is 11.6%, and I've already poured it just because I had to take a photo of this one. So I think this is the most recent Origin of Darkness series. I have been into Origin of Darkness over the years because we've been lucky. One of our local bars has got good Canadian contacts, and they've been able to get them, most of them, over the years anyway. And I remember when they used to be in the real big bottles with, pretty sure they had wax. So it's definitely changed over the years. Now it's just a regular small can. And funnily enough, I've actually got proper glassware, which I think is pretty cool, being in Australia. Don't know if you can see that, but it's got the Collective Arts logo and the little bird. Yeah, because I went to an actual tasting event with, I think it was like the head of Collective Arts or one of the main people anyway, in Melbourne. We did all the Origin of Darkness release for that year, and it was really cool. So yeah, that's Origin of Darkness is always like an imperial stout, and it's always a collab with different breweries like worldwide. And yeah, what they'll do, like it's probably a similar base and quite often barrel aged in something, but they'll have different adjuncts. And yeah, sometimes it'll be really out there stuff, or it might be just like just a straight stout, but maybe with like a rum barrel or something a little bit different. But yeah, let's go in for a whiff, see how it goes. So cheers, peeps. So yeah, the first thing I'm smelling is raspberry. It smells like quite sweet and tart. You're getting a little bit of mint there on the back. And like probably more of a milky chocolate. There's also a caramel, like a scent of caramel as well, whether it's from the malt base or the barrel or a bit of both. 'Cause, yeah, it's bourbon barrel. Yeah, it smells quite nice. Smells quite chocolatey. Cheers, Disco. How are you, brother? I reckon this would be a beer that you'd like. You're not really getting coffee. It does smell quite roasty, but it's more of like that chocolate and like sort of, yeah, like burnt sugar or brown sugar. But yeah, just that smell of raspberry and mint. It's so random. It smell. If I'm going to say like a mint, I'd say peppermint. So yeah, sometimes you'll get that slight difference in peppermint or spearmint, but it smells more peppermint. Anyway, I'm going in. Cheers. I didn't really describe the appearance of the beer for starters. But yeah, it's like, I'd say sort of like a dark tan, like chocolatey colour. It's probably, I'd say, medium body. Yeah, the carbonation and the head like were pretty light. It has been poured for a while, and generally, yeah, with like barrel character and the percentage and that of what it is, yeah, you're always going to get it sort of dissipate pretty quickly. But yeah, it's like quite oily on the mouth. Oily, medium body. You're definitely getting a touch of all three adjuncts. I don't know whether they've used like cacao nibs or like a chocolate powder or a bit of both. You're getting like sort of a mixture of milk and dark chocolate. The raspberry's quite intense on the aroma and the palate. The mint's there, but it's subtle. It's just sort of in the background. I'm probably actually getting mint more on the like. I reckon I got it more on the nose and the taste. Yeah, exactly. The three of them together is a bit odd. But when you think about it, like a berry with fresh mint, it's actually a pretty decent combo, but it just sounds weird, like with chocolate, like the three of them. How you going, Luke? Good to see you, brother. I need to pour more in the glass. There's not enough. Yeah, it's definitely more of like a dark brown in colour than a black. See, I wouldn't be surprised if it's got like a shitload of like cacao nibs and like say like your Dutch chocolate powder or something like that. Oh, see, that nose I like that smell I just got then was like huge barrel character, which is awesome. It'd be interesting to know what bourbon barrel it was. See, I just got a huge whack of like bourbon and caramel and like a sort of woodsy vibe there. What was the percentage? I think it was like mid 11s. Yeah, 11.6. Definitely doesn't. It drinks lighter than what it is. But in saying that, I might finish it and not be able to stand up. Yeah, it's predominantly chocolate. The raspberry's definitely there, and it's like it adds a bit of tartness to the sweetness. You're getting this like slight hint of bourbon. I reckon I'm getting caramel from both the bourbon barrel and like the base. So I feel like the base is like a more of a chocolate and a caramel than like a chocolate and a coffee. It might even be like slightly biscuity. But yeah, it's not really like Russian imperial stout vibe. It's more just like a strong chocolate stout sort of thing. And yeah, with the barrel too, you're getting like that. You know how sometimes you get that touch of vanilla from like a bourbon barrel. I'm sort of getting a little bit of that. But yeah, the mint just gives it that like that herbaceous touch on the finish. Yeah, I quite like it. Look at it's leaving a heap of bloody staining on the glass. It's very nice. And yeah, I've had quite a few beers from both breweries over the years. So yeah, Collective Arts being out of Canada. As I said, one of my favourite bars in Melbourne had contacts with a lot of Canadian breweries. So I've had heaps of stuff over the years. And tomorrow I'll actually be having some Canadian beers in Melbourne, so that'll be cool. And then yeah, Duga's out of Sweden. I've had quite a bit of their stuff, but not recently, more sort of probably 5 years ago. I think they're sort of around that Gothenburg area. I think it's on the west of Sweden. And yeah, Collective Arts are in Hamilton, which is like close to Toronto, I think. Yeah, boy. Yeah, because for a while there, I was only seeing what was it? You had the UK one, and then I don't think you had a US one. You had something else. Was it like a local flag to you, or I can't remember. So I always remember the Australian one being to the left of screen, then you had the UK, and then you had another one. You boys having a drink? I guess it's probably still a little bit early. What is it? Just after lunchtime, Friday? Yeah. No, I love when breweries do these collab series and they'll pretty much have a similar base beer, but then they'll play around with like the barrels and the adjuncts. I reckon it's cool. And it's just it's sort of a showcase of the other breweries. Like it's like they're flexing who they're mates with. I don't actually think there's been an Australian brewery featured on this series yet, which actually surprises me because Collective Arts have been featured with Aussie breweries before, but just not with this series. My money's that it'll be in the next series. Oh, yeah, it might have been the North Yorkshire one I'm thinking of. Maybe you did have the US one. I can't remember. Cheers, Paul. I was actually just watching the first part of your latest outdoors video. I think the last part I was up to is you'd been hiking and you got down to like some sort of water area. It's probably about I don't know about 20 minutes in. So I love that stuff, dude. It's cool. Yeah, it's got that oiliness, which is good, but yeah, it just needs a bit more oomph in the body. But yeah, like the as it's warmed, I'm getting more barrel character, which is good. And the thing that sucks is this small can. These bad boys used to be in big, like I reckon they were like 750s, and they had wax on them and shit. So it's sort of like it's lost its exclusivity. You're still paying like big price for them. It's like, come on. Yeah. Yeah, he's like talking about how you can't have the open fire till a certain month. And then as you took off on your hike, you were saying how you might be able to drive down there, but you guys were walking, and then you kicking around loose stones. And yeah, as it's warmed, more barrel character and a little bit more mint. But yeah, weird combination, but it actually worked for me. I think they've probably done it right with the mint. They've balanced it out well. If you overdid the mint, it would have just like killed the beer. But yeah, it's like it was. I felt like the chocolate was the main feature, the raspberry second, and then the mint was just in the background. And then the barrel character was like, yeah, it was present and got more intense as it warmed. Yeah, you got more of that sort of caramel, woodsy, woodsy vibe with a little bit of vanilla. But yeah, you could definitely tell it was a bourbon barrel. Just had that sweet caramel sort of note. But yeah, I don't know. I wish I had a bit more of that. I felt like the small can just wasn't enough to appreciate it. But yeah, I do like the look of the can. It's pretty sick. So there's only a 375 ml. 355 ml. Known as an extra strong beer. So yeah, Origin of Darkness, Collective Arts and Dugas, Aged Imperial Stout, Raspberry Chocolate and Mint. But yeah, I don't know if I've had any others from this series. Maybe one. They normally do about 5 each time they do it. But yeah, score for this one. In my opinion, it's good, but it's not brilliant. Like it's pretty good, but yeah, as I'd normally say, it's not going to rock your socks. I'd probably go, I reckon, about a 4.3 out of 5. I feel like that's a pretty generous score. Still pretty respectable. Yeah, two good breweries. Yeah, if you haven't tried Origin of Darkness, definitely give them a go. And I feel like the best way, if you're going to try one of them, just go for the adjuncts or the style of the stout that suits you. Don't worry too much about the brewery they collab with, because some of the awesome breweries they collab with, it might be a shitter style. I actually found that with Garage Project. Garage Project are one of the best breweries in the world, in my opinion. And when they did the collab of this, they did it was like a red wine barrel, and yeah, it was a shit beer, to be honest. Me and Miscellaneous and Last Beer all had it, and none of us liked it. And yeah, I'm like, I'm like, don't ever think that that's what Garage Project are about, boys. They're fucking phenomenal. It's just a shit style. So yeah, I'll probably have another one after this because I'm pretty keen. But yeah, I'm going to the city tomorrow and drinking international beers. It's going to be rad. I've got a Tired Hands US tap takeover first at my favourite bar in the north of Melbourne. And they're out of Pennsylvania. So whether you've tried them before, Paul, Tired Hands. And then after that, I've got a UK tap takeover at Mr. West, which is in the west of Melbourne. And they're doing a heap of Cloudwater, and I think they're going to have Verdant maybe. I'm not sure who else they got, but Paul from Cloudwater, I'm sure Luke and Disco would know who he is. He's going to be there tomorrow, so that's pretty cool. I know Rob. Rob knows him pretty well, as in Rob from Hopzine. And then I'm going to do some European beers. It's just we've got this. It's an event called Pint of Origin, and it happens around this time every year, May. And like a heap of venues around Melbourne will specialise in beers and food as well, just from that one area of the globe. But then you'll have some venues that just specialise in like a Australian state. It's fucking awesome. Like just going to a bar and it's like, oh, you got all these Canadian beers or all these English beers, and it's just a cool little event, and it goes for 10 days. So you might have like, say, if you went to the Scandinavia one, they might have Omnipolo and maybe another brewery there, and then in like 3 or 4 days' time, they'll change the taps, and all of a sudden you got like Dugas or Lervig. Yeah, it's just awesome how it works. It's just a great way to try beers that you normally wouldn't try. So suppose I better go back and check these comments before I depart. Yeah. I mean, sometimes the whole wax thing and that can be annoying. Like, but I always like the big bombers, like especially if you're sharing them with someone. There's just something cool about it. Instead of just getting some fancy stout and it's in this shit little can, and what by the time you start to enjoy it, it's like, oh, it's gone. Oh, sounds good, Luke. Enjoy, dude. Oh, that's unreal. Fuck yeah. 3 good hops too. Yeah. See, with Origin of Darkness, it's definitely hit or miss. I've had some absolute bangers from it, the series, and then I've had some that are just like barely drinkable. Yeah. So have you had any tired hands, dude? I've heard that I think they got a beer called Alien Church. I've heard that I've got to try and not only I've got to have that on tap, but like Josh and a few others said, I've got to try and get a can of that and do a review because it's sort of like the go-to beer for them. Cheers, Simo. How are you, dude? Good to see you. Congrats on the 1,000, dude. That was cool. I seen that pop up on my feed today. I'm like, Simo's got the 1,000. That's awesome. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, dude, is I think they've got 8 beers on tap, and I'm one of those people. It's like I'm either gonna go hard or go home. So it's like, fuck it. I'll probably end up doing all of them, even though I've got a heap of other venues to go to. But I'll just do like smaller pours. Apparently, they've got a couple of oat cream IPAs. I think they might have 1 or 2 Westies, a couple of standard hazies, and then like an oat cream or something. Oh no, sorry, a milkshake. Milkshake IPA. Milkshake IPAs can be pretty average at times. your your outdoors one might come over the top and beat it. What has the outdoors one got? That'd be up around like 400 or so. Yeah, for sure, dude. And it's like, it's sort of I don't know, the more people follow you and you do like regular lives and stuff, it's always going to get some traction. And yeah, as you said with your lives lately, you've been getting heaps of people viewing and that, and it's cool. Oh, good on you. Anyway, I'm going to depart and possibly have another beverage. But yeah, I gave these 4.3. So the chocolate, raspberry, and mint Origin of Darkness Impy Stout, bourbon barrel aged by Collective Arts and Dugas. So a Canadian Swedish collaboration. Yeah, 4.3 out of 5. Great or very good, but not brilliant, if you get what I mean. So yeah, we'll see us on the next one. I'll probably be about for maybe a couple of hours, but yeah, big day in the city tomorrow. So thanks to everyone for chiming in. Cheers.